basketball is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today. We are in Corvallis, Oregon, specifically Gill Coliseum. This venerable, memorable old barn is lighting up today because the U.S. women's national team is in town, part of their fall tour. And speaking of this dynamic bunch, let's take a look at the starters. Oh, baby, loaded, starting with Bird and Taurasi, of course, two of the most decorated Olympians in our history. Augustus compliments them at the forward spot along with Nneka Ogwumike. And fouls is going to be a lot for anybody to handle at that post position. For the Oregon State Beavers, a little of this, a little of that, a little young, a little old. Pivec, Goodman, and Slocum, your veterans. But look at Kennedy Brown and Taylor Jones, Mary Murphy, a couple of freshmen going at this U.S. women's national team, but they come highly touted.
They really do, but without Taya Corsdale out with a hamstring injury, you start two freshmen in the post against the U.S.A. national team.
So Corsdale a little banged up. Of course, Kat Tudor waiting to come back from that knee injury last year. But Oregon State likes their chances, especially at home. You never know, and we are underway. Oregon State wearing their home whites. The USA women's national team wearing the red and blue, and Taurasi, just like that, cans the triple.
Yeah, and immediately the building's like, okay.
Oh, it's these guys, yeah.
Run a little elevator play, get Taurasi going early.
The other night, Stanford gave the USA women's national team fits, led after the first quarter. What can Oregon State do, Mayor, to take a page out of that book as Brown tees it up and rims out?
Make shots.
Give me a little more than that, partner.
Well, you can't get beat. Anything easy, you got to get out on threes, and you got to do something to slow down the inside game.
Brown runs the floor very well, as does Jones for Oregon State. So you may see a higher-paced, one-and-done, hit-the-road running Oregon State club this year, Mayor.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. They've got a different look. They're bigger. It'll be great when Kat Tudor comes back. She is close.
Boom! Goodman, who led this club in triples last year, looked confident with that stroke.
Spent so much of the summer playing 3-on-3 for USA, and it really has helped her game so much. Quicker release, quicker coming off screens.
Bird couldn't shake Goodman, so Nneka will rim off again. And Pivec, one of the best rebounding guards in the country, will get things going the other way. 3-2, USA leading. A little forearm shiver from Slocum. Will play on. Pivec. Mismatch here.
Huge mismatch inside.
Rimming out and following, nicely done, the freshman Taylor Jones.
It took a little bit, but they recognize Sue Bird is guarding Jones. You got to pound it, get it inside. They make it work.
So Oregon State with the 4-3 lead. Bird tees it up, rimming in and out, and again, Pivec wants to push tempo. NBA 3, Slocum. Nneka with the rebound. Here comes Taurasi. Augustus inside. Ooh, tough look there for fouls. She was so deep, Mayor, I thought that was going to be automatic.
She missed a couple early at Stanford, but once she got it going in the high-low, she was just devastating.
Slocum wheeling around, finding Brown. Crowd loves that, and Oregon State extends its lead to 7-3.
On the switch, Nneka guarding Destiny Slocum. Slocum says no problem. We'll back it up, knock it down.
So Oregon State trailing early on Taurasi's three, now lead it 7-3. So 7 straight points for Oregon State, and they're doing a nice job on the defensive boards.
They do. They are. You've got to keep them off. You can't allow those second shots. Stanford had a little bit of an issue with that.
Here comes Bird.
18 points off O-boards on Friday night.
Ogwumike, look at that footwork. At the rim, and again, USA missing a point-blank shot. Pivec wheels around, has second thoughts. Bird comes up with it. Foul said, oh, not in my kitchen. Taurasi, catch, shoot. Tough luck there. Basket didn't want it. And Slocum will walk it up, look over at Ruick for some instructions.
This is where, for Oregon State, you got to catch your breath a little bit. All that excitement, the people in the building, the opponent, you just got to get down and get in your zone.
So 10 on the shot clock. Execution will be paramount. Slocum runs into the double team, looks for help. Pivec pulls up. And with 2 on the shot clock, Oregon State will get the ball out of bounds. Talk to me, Mary Murphy.
I just love Sylvia Fowles. The college kids come in, they try to give you a little something, and she's like, really, you got to have more than that.
3-time Defensive Player of the Year at the WNBA, 3-time Olympian. Yeah, again, not in my kitchen. It's got to be a catch and shoot. Brown does just that. Taurasi looking for it on this weak side. Instead, Bird will go underneath. That's really good defense. Tag teaming by Brown. Aggressively going after Sylvia.
And the crowd here appreciates good defense.
And how about this crowd, Mare?
Monday night, Corvallis, they're here.
Pivec looking for the baseline. Instead, pull up and shoot. And Oregon State has gone cold, but the USA national team has been a little frigid as well.
Just wait.
I got you. I'm just calling what we're seeing right now. On cue, Simone Augustus. How about Simone? You know, she doesn't make her first 2 USA junior teams. Got cut during the tryouts and never quit. Eventually getting called up to the national team in 06 and a fixture.
14 years with the Minnesota Lynx, averages 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in her career, 8-time All-Star. Does it all. She's trying to get healthy too.
10 on the shot clock, and a much-needed bucket. You see the form of Kennedy Brown, the freshman out of Derby, Kansas, suburb of Wichita, by the way.
I did a little geography myself.
Yeah.
6'6", and she loves to face up. She's not a back to the basket, so pick and pop for her, going to be big.
First foul going against Goodman. So this is a much-anticipated matchup for the Oregon State fans, and they like what they see. Welcome back to Gill Coliseum. Oregon State leading the USA women's national team 9-5. We're in the 4th quarter. Mary Murphy, we know that the United States is going for its 7th straight goal, but in their back pocket, they already know that they've qualified for the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah, and so it's all about getting ready, and this tour is perfect. They hope to have another tour later in the winter against more college teams. But Cheryl Reeve, what a job she's done. 2019 WNBA Executive of the Year with the Minnesota Lynx. 6 WNBA championships, 4 as a head coach, 2 as an assistant. She knows how to win and just does a terrific job. Of course, Dawn Staley, the coach, but the head coach, she's coaching South Carolina right now.
And there's the pick, and here comes the United States national team, but the walk is going to go against Sylvia Fowles. As we should mention that Diggin Smith has checked into the USA lineup, as has Asia Wilson, and Clarendon checking into the United States lineup as well, the former Cal great.
That was a shot at Dan Hughes. They are co-head coaching this ball game, as they are this entire tour.
Maddie Washington on the floor for Oregon State. Pivec off the pick, missing, and Diggin Smith with the board. She'll lead it up. The pick, and here comes Pivec.
Good hustle.
What a great hustle play by Jazz Simmons, who just checks in. She had a terrific Italy tour as Oregon State goes on that tour and gets a lot of reps as Pivec hits the bucket, hits the deck, and Simmons was very impressive. Give her credit for that bucket.
That's exactly right, and just good decision-making by Pivec. Don't take it too far. You get that mid-range jumper, take it and be confident.
So 11-7, Oregon State with the lead down low. Fouls again, very, very deep in that soft hook.
And this is where they're devastating, and Dan Hughes talked a lot about that down at Stanford. This is the strength of this team right now. That high-low game, fouls down low, naked down low, Asia Wilson down low.
Brown back rim and off. Nice hustle play by Washington, but Wilson comes up with it. Here comes Clarendon. Again, down low. Fouls looking for the cutter. Finds Clarendon. The three-pointer, you bet.
And that's going to feel good. She struggled shooting a little bit down at Stanford. She's just coming back from that injury, that ankle surgery. So every shot, every play that goes, her confidence is going to continue to rise.
Augustus coming off the injury. Clarendon coming off the injury.
Sue Bird.
Diggins Smith. I mean, just on the floor right now as you see the range of Brown. And that's why these games are so critical for the United States. Getting the reps, the cohesion, just getting folks healthy again, as you mentioned, Mayor. Ooh. We'll go the other way. Oregon State in a back and forth first quarter, leading it by the singleton with 2:05 left to go in this opening stanza. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Pivec. Off the pick is Goodman. Oops.
She knew she was in trouble. Great defense by Augustus. And into the ball game, Chelsea Gray, the first time appearing in a U.S. women's national game. She's had a tough career with injuries and illness. This is a big, big moment for her. Missed the game down at Stanford. She was a little busy getting married, and she got herself up here for this ball game.
Coming off her best WNBA season, so coming into this campaign with some momentum.
As Candace Parker likes to call her, she is the point guard. Bang.
Yeah, big bang. You talked about Chelsea, and on cue, she splashes home the J. The United States national team reclaims the lead. Got to be careful with that inside look. Didn't have the angle. Easy pick.
Well, you got to get it there a whole lot sooner. When it's open, that window is going to close fast. Cannot give Asia Wilson those open shots.
Yeah, that's usually automatic as Slocum wants to push tempo. Steps into the three. Bam! Oh, Goodman. Fearless.
Goodman with the three is always a good option. The answer.
How about the reaction from Diggins Smith? Count it. What a first quarter the fans have been treated to, and there are a ton of folks here at Gill. We found out a couple of weeks ago about this game. You could have told them yesterday, and they'd still fill the joint. 40 seconds left in the opening period. Goodman looking for the cutter. Getting out of trouble. Goodman.
There's a lot of work to get out of trouble.
I'll say with 6 on the shot clock now. Jones almost got away with the walk. There's the tie-up. And not the best of execution on that play as Thrope checks in for Oregon State.
You could feel U.S.A. just really turn up the heat on their defense. Aggressive. Pick up that dribble, and you're just getting buried.
They can smell it a mile away, can't they?
Smell it, they can see it, they anticipate it.
Sense it.
Been there, done that.
Got to put it up, Maddie. All right. U.S.A. women's national team slowing it down for the last shot of the quarter. Gray running the point. 3 for Gray. Off the pick, pulls up, splashes it home again. So Gray comes off the bench, hits consecutive jumpers, and helps the USA women's national team lead this thing 19-16 after the first quarter. Oregon State had a hot spell and had that lead, but you see who's leading now. Second quarter coming right up. A revised score, so this is official after the first quarter. The USA women's national team leading Oregon State 18-17. All right, moments ago, our Mary Murphy caught up with the most decorated World Cup athlete in history. Take it away, Mare.
Sue, one game at Stanford, you're here at Corvallis. How's it feeling here so far?
It's loud. It's loud. I forgot, at college games, there's a band. They make that thing rowdy out there, so it's been fun.
The moment Chelsea Gray took the floor, her first time in a USA uniform, what's that mean for you, playing with her and just knowing how important this is for her?
Yeah, for Chelsea, it's a tremendous opportunity. It's someone who, has really kind of worked her way through the ranks and now is getting this chance, and she's already making an impact, and that's great news.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you for that interview with Sue Bird. I mean, when you think of what she's won, Mayor, 4 Ole golds, 4 World Cup golds, Olympic career leader in assists. I know you've watched her throughout her career. Just, you run out of words.
You do, and at her age, what she's accomplished, that she's back here to do this again, get another one, the example that she sets, watching what she did at practice today, talking to the Oregon State players. She's an inspiration, and should be an inspiration for just about everybody.
All right, so 18-17 as we head into the second quarter. USA Women's National Team with the lead. Pivec tips it, and that was a bucket that Collier will take any time, a junkyard dog bucket, but counted all the same.
Yeah, it's just important. If you've got a shot at that ball, you've got to go get it. USA is not going to leave anything up there.
Jones trying to post up inside. Slocum instead rimming out the three-pointer.
Goodman matching up with Skylar Diggins-Smith.
Collier out of UConn.
Rookie of the year in the WNBA. What a season she had.
Such a great at UConn, obviously, but she just didn't stop once she hit the pro level. Jones almost getting that ball knocked away. Look at Clarendon and tag team by Wilson. And the shot clock down to 12.
That was like a quarterback sack. I mean, she lost 10 yards on the exchange.
So the foul is going to go against Clarendon. Leja's first, team's first.
But this is what Leja brings. It's a lot of the intangibles. You have the ball in one spot, a pretty sweet spot on the floor, and suddenly you look up and you're 10 feet back, you're 12 feet back. She just digs in and works every second she's on the floor.
She knows the little things could go a long way in terms of her making this club, Mayor. Oh, baby. Wilson, take that. Goodman thought she had a clear path to the bucket, but Wilson says,
Just a tremendous defender. Nice cut, but just hanging out. But the beauty of it, no foul. Get right back into your defensive stance.
Monster pick by Jones. Well done to free up Goodman, but Wilson had something to say about that. What a poised play by Brown to get rid of her defender.
Impressive debut here at Gill. I mean, they've had some exhibition games, but we'll call this the big-time debut. But what you got on that?
Well, that left hand, obviously that's her dominant hand, and Wilson with the soft touch. Boy, there was the roll by Jones. They didn't see her. Pivec back rimming off. One and done. Good board by Collier. And here comes USA Women's National Team on the deck. Chelsea Gray loses it. Good hands. Let's see if Oregon State can carve into that deficit. Brown, the first signee in terms of a McDonald's All-American. Look at that play. I mean, that is everything by Wilson to reject and keep it in play. My goodness. Collier steps back.
Destiny Slocum and A'ja Wilson played together in Moscow on the U19s a couple years back. Now opposing each other, and you just got an inkling of how great A'ja Wilson is, and she's only getting better.
Just 23 years old. Great look underneath. Going up top, and Oregon State needed that one.
2 freshman bigs start for Oregon State, and what an impressive job they have done so far.
They don't look overwhelmed. They don't look out of their element. They look like they're having fun. So the lead is a deuce for the USA National Team. Great cut and finish. Chelsea Gray is a joy to watch.
Precision. How about the pass by Wilson?
And remember, Gray just joining this club,
right.
Mayor.
Exactly right.
Didn't get to play in that Stanford game, and boom, it looks like they've been doing that as a well-oiled machine. Ogwumike Bird Taurasi back on the floor, and Scotty Rueck in his 10th year, what he has done with this program.
Without a doubt, we've talked about it over the years, just took a program in the ashes and has risen it up to national prominence. And their goal, and they are very upfront about it, is to make it to New Orleans, to make it to the Final Four this year. They feel like they have unfinished business. Boy, with these terrific freshman post players, you can see the future is very bright.
What a great hustle play. Look at Jones, and one, baby.
This crowd rises up. They've read so much about these freshmen, but you're going out against some of the best in the world. Not just once, twice.
Well, that's impressive. Wilson got her first, team second. Jones just missing on the three-point play, but Oregon State trailing only by a deuce.
Here's the challenge for Oregon State. The bench just comes in waves. All-stars, WNBA, MVPs, all-time leading scorers in Taurasi.
You know, you joke about the second team of this USA national team. You know, they could be playing for a gold or silver themselves. They come at you, as you said, Mary, in waves in terms of quality. You can't come up for air. Slocum, good handles, 7 on the shot clock. Brown steps back. Short on that shot. Wilson will skip it over to Bird.
That possession felt like when the coach puts the 6th player on defense to make you work a little extra harder.
Great little screwball shot there.
Nice box out.
And here comes Pivec. Bird forces her to back it out. Pivec calls the play, and here's Slocum. The lead is 4 for the USA women's national team. There's the high pick. And the 5-second call is going to go against Slocum. So we'll take a quick break. Beavers still in this thing, trailing only by 4. Back in just a second. Here at Gill Coliseum, back and forth we go. Oregon State hosting the USA women's national team. You look at the season recap, Mayor, for the Oregon State Beavers last year. Another trip to the Sweet 16. Another impressive season for this group.
Yeah, they've been on a roll, and this year they are preseason ranked number 7 in the preseason polls in conference, number 3 behind Oregon and Stanford, just ahead of UCLA and Arizona State. Very competitive year coming up in conference, and for everyone, play starts tomorrow.
Look out. That's the highest preseason AP rating ever for Oregon State. They were 8th last year. This year, 7th. Oregon State wanted to travel. They're not going to get it as Fowles gets it down.
That's just understanding the importance of your pivot foot and just get your bearings, get your balance, take your time. Sylvia Fowles, she knows. It's going to be interesting to see how these last 4:33 go. At Stanford, the second quarter was really where USA basketball they put on their track shoes. It was a 29-17 second quarter in their favor.
Skip pass. Boy, is that a huge stick, and I mean a huge stick for Jazz Simmons.
You talked about how well she played in Italy. 5'11" sophomore out of Australia.
And there's the walk.
A lot of expectations for her.
If you can hang tough in Rueck's system and understand that your time is going to come if you keep grinding, Simmons is that kind of player who they have seen such improvement from last year to this year already.
Another player they're looking for, Patricia Morris, number 32 in white for Oregon State. Matched up with her idol growing up, Sylvia Fowles. This has to be quite a moment for her.
Slocum gets a step all the way to the cup. The lead is down to 1.
That has to feel good.
Oh, amen. Oregon State hanging tough. Catch, shoot, stick, NECA.
Every year expands her game. A little further out, shooting the threes.
Reading my mind.
Great passer. A complete basketball player.
Pivec gets a little bit of an edge, finds Slocum. Morris with the fresh clock.
Keep it alive.
Yep. Pivec strongly. Oh, take that. Fouls. What a stub. Look at the streaking Nneka and the look. What a pass, finish, and one for Nneka.
You blink, and the situation changes. Pivec thinks she's backing Sue Bird down, and it's all good. She's going to score points, and then you're going the other way. Nneka's been running this floor. She did it at Stanford here in Corvallis. Beats everybody down. Beautiful pass inside. So from the block to the finish.
Wow. So you mentioned how critical the last chunk of change in this quarter was going to be for both clubs as Nneka completes the three-point play. Largest lead of the game for the USA national team, 34-28.
5-0 run by USA.
Slocum.
That is not a good place to be.
Able to find Simmons. I thought maybe she'd pull the trigger. Destiny gets it right back, though. Basket didn't want it.
It's so important to beat this team. You have got to be able to make points when they're defensively trying to transition and find folks after the, they're switching and they're just trying to find their matchups. Got to make those shots.
Double dribble call goes against Bird. Actually, it's a carry, and she says, nah. 2.5 to go. Slocum tries to take the pick, can't get around that corner. Goodman, who has had the outside touch, is going to take the pick, trying to find the mismatch. 10 on the shot clock. Simmons scoops. Jones. You like the idea. Augustus.
Oh, beautiful hesitation.
And no help on that baseline. Slocum was looking for some help, didn't get it. And Augustus took advantage.
Nice run by USA. 7-0 run.
Our State Farm halftime report is just around the corner. Mike Gamm will be in our San Francisco studio. We'll have an interview that Mary and I did with Lasia Clarendon. Of course, first half highlights, and Mary will break everything down like nobody's business. Coming up on the State Farm halftime report. So the last 5 seasons, Mayor, for Oregon State, you see what Scott Rueck has been able to do. You mentioned how he's turned this program around. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, the build is on. And Pivec in her senior year, Slocum really arriving and embracing this system in her second year with Scott Rueck after transferring in from Maryland and sitting for that season. But disappointed by that Sweet 16. They wanted to go further. And they have worked hard. The trip to Italy in the off-season, so you get those 10 practices. Your freshmen get on campus, and they just feel like they're a whole lot further ahead because of Italy and because of this game. Scott Rueck said they have just thrown a whole lot at them that normally is sort of January, February, March stuff.
We mentioned the preseason top 10, top 20, and the Pac-12 well represented.
Oregon, number 1. We will see them against this USA women's national team next weekend, Saturday. Stanford, people are already saying maybe they should be higher than 3. Oregon State, UCLA, ASU lost so much, but boy, are they going to be good. Charlie just reloads.
Amen. One of the best coaches in the business, and what Corey Close is doing with UCLA is loads of fun as well. So we are poised for another terrific Pac-12 women's basketball season. And we're delighted to have you with us tonight. The USA women's national team at Gill Coliseum taking on Oregon State. Huge crowd as Pivec is called for the travel. Taurasi all over her.
Great defensive hustle by Taurasi, just staying with. Pivec picking up the dribble, assisting with the call.
You see how hungry Taurasi and Bird are, the veterans of this club, to win that historic 7th straight gold medal. As Taurasi on cue, back rim and off, but takes a shot that she knows she normally nails, kind of grimacing at that miss. Great pass. Oh my goodness, Nneka. Maybe an extra pass by Oregon State. Nneka doing it all, though.
I'm not sure what it mattered. Nneka is going to stop that one or this one. And there, blocking 6'6" at 6'2".
The body control and the timing is exquisite. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Big possession, but the turnover. It was 29-28. Oregon State down by 1. It seemed like just moments ago.
That's what happens when you're great.
I wouldn't know, but Taurasi gets called for that block. I am really impressed, Mayor, with the play of Kennedy Brown and Taylor Jones, the 2 yearlings, the 2 freshmen, who haven't changed demeanor, their facial expression. They're just working, these kids, against the best in the business.
But for them tonight, not a lot of help off the bench, so they're having to run a marathon against a team that is doing sprints, and they're going to have to really dig deep.
Pivec backs it up, wants to go against fouls, and the block will go against Sylvia. Pivec so aggressive when she got a little daylight on that baseline.
But that's just Death Valley against a team as talented as this. You have to have a destination, and you've got to get there quickly, or you're just going to get derailed.
Death Valley, that's hilarious. All right, 20 on the shot clock on the inbounds play. Slocum off the pick. And she's having second thoughts about going up.
She's back in there, right?
I hear you.
I mean, Sylvia Fowles is just waiting on it.
Slocum says, well, Sil, come out and get me.
That's right.
Boy, huge triple. Did Oregon State need that? She's got 8. It got the crowd back into it. Off the pick. Extra pass. Fowles walked and will go the other way. So, Mary Murphy. Let's take a look at this 3 from Destiny.
From deep. The challenge by Fowles. Find your advantage and take advantage. Scott Ruick and his ever-growing list of plays put 4 new sets in 2 days ago.
Slocum NBA 3 and 1.4 left to go as Slocum's air ball will give the USA national team a chance at a heave. So that'll do it for the first half, and a very entertaining one at that. The USA women's national team on their fall tour, leading the Oregon State Beavers here at Gill Coliseum. The halftime score 36-31. Very impressed with Oregon State's youngsters, and Slocum has been stroking it well, along with Goodman, so Oregon State still very much in this thing. Mary, a special guest, Scotty Ruick.
Coach, you said those freshman posts were pretty good. You're completely correct on that one.
Well, I've been watching them play for a while now. We're really excited about them. They're great players, great people, and competitive, and we're seeing that come out of them tonight.
Coach, you wanted to see how your team would respond to this challenge. How you feeling about that?
Well, I'm really pleased. You never know how something like this will go. This is their second game now. You feel like they're getting a little bit more of a rhythm, and obviously they're the best team in the world. And so I love the way we've competed. A coach couldn't ask for more from a mindset standpoint.
Thanks for joining us. Beaver Nation showed up tonight.
Unbelievable, always. Thank you.
That's awesome stuff. Thanks, Mayor. Thank you, Scotty. What a fun first half this has been. Like we said, not just a game, but an event. USA women's national team in the house and leading Oregon State 36-31. State Farm halftime report is next. This Pac-12 basketball halftime report is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today. We're at Gill Coliseum on the campus of Oregon State University. Second half underway here at Gill. USA Women's National Team leading Oregon State heading into the third quarter, 36-31. Quick whistle stopping play.
Nneka needs to put some contact lenses in. You know, I think Cheryl Reeve said it best after the Stanford game, that game was exactly what her squad needed, what they wanted. They wanted to be tested. They wanted to be pushed, and they're getting that test again tonight here in Corvallis. I mean, they're not the home team. They're not going to be the home team, and Oregon State just given everything they got. Not a good place to be down there.
Boy, I'm wondering if maybe a timeout would be coming from Goodman. So it'll be Oregon State's ball, and I'm not quite sure why the whistle blew, Mayor. Look at Taurasi laughing. 20 on the shot clock. You're right, that corner is just, you just feel like you're never going to breathe.
Get out of there.
Get out of there. 10 on the shot clock for Brown. Poked away. Turnover. Taurasi wants it. She's going to get it. Augustus off the pick, looking for the trailer of Agumake, just the way you draw it up.
Yeah, just beautifully executed into some open space. Nneka, no wasted motion. Nice dish from Augustus.
7 points for Nneka now, and the lead is back to 7 for the USA national team. Slocum nowhere to go. Pivec looking for a cutter. Brown with the floater. Bird. Felt Goodman, drew it back and finds Taurasi. Nneka wants to go inside, and instead of the jumper, Nneka goes down low for the automatic fouls.
So what did Dan Hughes say when we talked to him? And that is, we got to get our inside game going. That is their bread and butter. That is their strength. Fouls down low. Nneka, Asia Wilson, and you see him get right in there. Fouls taking care of business.
Fouls having a really good game on both ends of the floor. She is such a dynamic player. Taking on Slocum, playing the good help defense. Sylvia just doing it all.
Nneka sets the screen, just rolls into her spot. Freshman Kennedy Brown tries to get there, but it's over before she arrives.
Everybody thought Augustus was going to be whistled for that foul. Instead, Pivec keeps her head up and is able to slip it to the cup.
It's one of the reasons WNBA coaches are excited about Mick Pivec. Those kind of power plays. I mean, she can move outside, but she can do that as well.
Down low, up top, fouls again. The high percentage shot, it's a layup. She's got 10.
It's an easy game when you play it like that.
Right. Dan Hughes had their ear. The co-coach of this club said, go down low where we can eat these guys up. Slocum, step back, tough shot. Back rim and off. Nneka, one and done. And here comes Taurasi on the wing. Augustus. Nneka, that's really good defense by the Oregon State bunch.
Kennedy Brown.
Yeah. Wide open.
They need it.
Place would have come unglued if Pivec would have hit that shot. Kennedy Brown, McDonald's All-American, Oregon State's first McDonald's All-American signee. Obviously the transfer, Slocum, a McDonald's All-American, but their first signee will go the other way. Taurasi whistled for the elbow extended, and that's her second.
Coaches discussing.
What do you think, Mayor?
No, that is not a foul.
Didn't see a whole lot of extension on that.
Because the leg was extended. I don't know, but not a call USA is going to like.
Maddie Washington enters the game. Slocum tries to keep the dribble alive. The quick hands of Augustus.
Great help, just very aware where the ball is. This is a crew that's played a lot together. Familiarity at both ends of the floor.
Whistle away from the ball. Augustus is fired up.
Well, Slocum's down low trying to do the bump with Augustus, and Augustus is just too experienced.
Slocum with her second foul. Off the pick, Augustus, front rimming off, Pivec.
Oregon State needs a bucket.
Pull back. Tough luck for Goodman. She's been really stroking it well from the outside.
Fouls running the floor. Bird with the dish. Pivec trying to get the charge. Instead, she gets the block.
So Pivec's first foul, as the lead is 9 for the USA women's national team. And Simmons back on the floor.
And Mick Pivec, who in the 4th grade got as a gift a Sue Bird jersey, has been her idol, and today she got to meet her.
Got the autograph, eyes lit up. It was a great moment. A legal pick will go against the USA women's national team. Fouls whistled for her second. Team's third. Oregon State getting some decent looks. Not able to cash in on those outside jumpers, Mayor. They could really use a bucket right now.
It is fun to watch the U.S. bench kind of chuckling over these calls.
Great defense by Bird. Slocum wanted to go back door. Bird would have none of it. There's the triple for Goodman. I'm telling you, she's been stroking it all night, Mayor. She's got 8.
Had some time, had some space. Chelsea Gray will be checking in. She had 6 points in 9 minutes.
Nice job by Slocum. The streaking Goodman.
The streaking Nneka.
Back rimming off. Nobody there for the offensive rebound. 5:20 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Down low, the cutter, Nneka, you bet. What a great dish by Fouls, finding Nneka.
Fouls as a passer. High post cut from Nneka. Working well together. Exactly what Dan Hughes talked about.
High percentage looks at the cup for this USA national team. Oh, Aaliyah. Slocum. Take that. I love the fact that Slocum has the guts to go in there, and Sill would just have none of it. I don't have to say anything. Just be quiet, Ann.
I'm Big Sill, and you're not.
Here at Gill Coliseum, the USA women's national team leading Oregon State 44-36 with just under 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Delighted, honored to have Carol Menken-Schout joining us, the All-American here at Oregon State, the 1984 Olympian. When you see this memorable event, just walk us through how this touches you, this crowd, this event, what these kids are experiencing.
I am so excited for the opportunity for the Beavers to play Team USA. I mean, this is just a great opportunity. To me, it doesn't matter what the score is.
Right.
It's the opportunity to go one-on-one against players that are, that much quicker, that much stronger, that much more experienced. It's an opportunity that you just can't pass up.
As Maddie Washington goes up and down with the bucket. Your start was inauspicious in terms of your basketball career, Carol. Yeah. I mean, you're from a little town that's not too far from Corvallis. You didn't play a lot of high school hoops because you didn't have a coach every year. And yet somehow you end up at a junior college. You play a little junior college basketball. How did you end up at Oregon State under Aki Hill?
Well, I was at Lynn Benton Community College, which is about 6 miles down the road.
Okay.
And so Oregon State was the closest to where I was playing, and I walked into the coach's office and invited myself in and said, hey, I'm playing down the road here. Thought maybe you'd be interested in having me come play for you guys, and I did get an offer from Oregon State, but I also got a letter explaining that coach at that time had resigned because she was no longer confident of the university's support of the women's basketball program. So wasn't, great news, but it's the only offer I had. So I ended up here at Oregon State, and fortunately they hired Aki Hill. And Aki Hill is just a master teacher of the fundamentals of the game of basketball, and she turned me into a basketball player.
In your Olympic career, an assistant coach that year was Kay Dow.
Yes.
And your head coach was Pat Summitt.
That's right.
Doesn't get much better
Legends.
than that.
I know, legends.
What's that experience like playing for those two?
Sort of the yin and yang, sort of the good cop, bad cop, going on there a lot. So Kay was always, I don't know how she was as a head coach, but as an assistant to Pat, I think she took on the role of, sort of coming alongside of us and sort of like, hey, it's okay, hey, just the cheerleader for us all, and so I, really appreciated her, and actually had just a wonderful summer with Pat Head Summit as well.
And some of your teammates, a who's who that you got to team up with, from Cheryl Miller,
Lynette Woodard, Ann Donovan. Yep.
It was something to behold, and there you were in the thick of it with your high field goal percentage. What were some of your greatest memories of that 1984 gold medal Olympic tournament?
Well, I think part of it was that it was a boycott year, and so some of the top competition, the Soviet Union wasn't there, and they were at that time dominant in women's basketball, and so we had been looking forward to that, and actually were slightly favored to beat them that year for the first time. They had gone undefeated for 16 years. And so that was, we were looking forward to that game, but they didn't come, and so it ended up not being the greatest competition that year, but that's okay.
That's okay.
We still got our gold medal.
Heck yeah.
What can you say about the job that Scott Rulick's done? I see you here at a lot of ball games, and just the people in this building and what he's done to women's basketball here in Corvallis.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I don't know that I could have ever imagined having two Oregon teams that are in the top 10 in the country. It's just amazing what has happened with basketball here in Oregon, and Scott Rulick is a huge part of that, starting here at Oregon State and building the program here, and the Beaver Nation, Beaver Nation being so behind it, and it's just amazing.
Your name, your jersey, your likeness up in the rafters here at Gill Coliseum with some of the greats in all the different sports and with some of the coaches. I would imagine when you walk into a home game at Gill and you look up, that's still pretty special.
It is. It's just a great honor, and I don't know, I think maybe it's part of getting old, but you start to have a little perspective on looking back, and you see really how important that was, and not very many people have a banner hanging in their home court, so it becomes more special with time, I think.
What do you think about Sylvia Fowles, Neko Bumake, and Asia Wilson inside?
Goodness.
Would you want to match up with any of them?
Not today. My goodness, just the size and the strength and the speed. It's just amazing.
And the freshmen for Oregon State aren't bad either.
Oh my goodness!
How about those kids?
They are going toe to toe with these girls. They are so impressive.
So Neko with another bucket. The lead is up to 10 now. And while Mary and I have you here, Carol, Pac-12 Conference Hall of Honor inductee in 2017. We're just so proud of what you have done in your career, your Olympic gold medal, but what you've done for Oregon State women's basketball.
Well, thank you. It's been a great honor, and it was a great opportunity for me. I'm so pleased and so honored that I had the opportunity to play here at Oregon State, and it changed the whole direction of my life.
Thank you so much, Carol, for joining us. Hall of Famer. We'll be back in just a moment, closing parts of the third quarter. Fabulous. The U.S. women's national team extending the lead to 12 over Oregon State, 54-42, with under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Earlier today, near the end of today's U.S.A. practice session, they invited the Oregon State women's team and coaching staff to join them courtside. Diana Taurasi and the national team sharing wit and wisdom, and we were hanging on every word.
I think if you have that competitive nature in you, to be the best player you can be, to be the best teammate you can be, if you really love the game, you keep coming back and you keep trying to get better at whatever it is. And just when you think you've hit your level of whether it's greatness, expertise, there's always another level.
Diana Taurasi, 4-time USA Female Basketball Athlete of the Year, 4 Oli golds, 3 World Cup golds. Had that knee surgery and hamstring issues, Mary, and yet here she is through all the rehab, leading Team USA Women's National Team again.
And we're here on a college campus, so let's talk about what she did at UConn. 139-8 in the NCAA tournament, 22-1, 3 NCAA titles, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year. They call her the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Nobody has scored more points in the WNBA, and here she is, coming back for more.
She and Sue Bird so instrumental in getting these college tours going, Mayor, and keeping some of the U.S. Women's National Team members and hopefuls in the States to play and get ready for Tokyo. I don't care if they've already qualified for the tournament, the United States has, but this is a chance for them to really get to know each other and get a cohesive bunch on the floor.
And there's another thing behind this as well. NECA talked about it, gaining some fans, getting people behind it, growing the game like the U.S. soccer team did. Just finding their platform, finding their voice, growing the fan base. And as Sue Bird said, we've got a lot riding on this, and that's why we're putting in all this time and energy.
Ogwumike at the cup after the block on the other end by Wilson. Late in the shot clock, and Oregon State suffers the rejection, and then the run-out deuce by the USA Women's National Team.
And Dan Hughes said it at halftime. We've got to dominate the paint, and that's exactly what they are doing in this ball game. I think 34-14 right now. They are plus 20 in the paint.
Clarendon whistled for that foul, her second. As Collier set to check in, Ogwumike will have a seat. You know, it was a 5-point halftime lead for the USA Women's National Team, and look at the score now.
It was 7 at Stanford.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of close early in that fourth quarter at Stanford, but you saw the will and the talent and the dominance of this USA Women's National Team at both ends of the floor. We're seeing it again tonight.
Well, in a squad that every combination they put on the floor, it's a new combination. Again, Chelsea Gray has never played with this group. Asia Clarendon's been hurt. Certainly Collier has played all season long with Augustus and fouls.
So 25 seconds right here until that third quarter horn will blow. Gray.
This is who you want with the ball in their hand at this point. Nobody knows that better than Cheryl Reeve.
Off the pick, there's the roll. Wilson hesitates and scores. And look at the bench up and cheering for the USA Women's National Team as they force the 5 count, and they'll get a great opportunity to score again, Mary, with 2.6 left.
Just time and situation, really understanding what needs to happen. We can get another possession out of this. Let's go get it. I mean, a very, very different ball game than we saw at Stanford, which was extremely high scoring. But Chelsea Gray,
man,
doing Chelsea Gray things.
Boy, what a weapon off the bench is Chelsea Gray. So the turnover, another deuce for the USA Women's National Team, and they lead by a bunch after 3. Here at Gill Coliseum, Carol Menken-Schout sat down with Mary and myself, and then moments later, Carol was honored here at Gill Coliseum, 6,300 plus, rising in unison to cheer on the Oregon State All-American and the 1984 U.S. gold medal winner. Carol Menken-Schout still all over the record books, Mary, and when she walks in, it's like royalty.
Well, I've seen her here at a lot of ball games, but you're exactly right. Every single person up out of their seats honoring, and that's her grandson.
Oh, that's great.
How about the third quarter by NECA? 12 points, 6 of 6 shooting.
Well, kind of taking a page out of what she did from beginning, middle, and end of that game at Stanford the other night. Darn near perfect in that one, but boy. And the way this U.S. women's national team, Mary, shares the ball is just so impressive. The lefty Wilson starting the fourth quarter off with the deuce.
Now in double figures. 4 assists, 2 blocks. Mecca's got 2 blocks. Sylvia Fowles has 3 blocks.
Jones did a really nice job of rolling, understanding that she had the mismatch with Clarendon on her, and Leisha picks up her third as Jones draws the foul.
She's played a really solid game, hasn't she? I mean, against this level of competition, she won't see this all year long. But inside, she's held her position well. And these are lessons she'll take into conference play, and it will.
Oh, the dividends.
The Civil War.
Oh, baby.
Play Oregon. And I'm sure Kelly Graves is down in Eugene, along with his crew, Sabrina, Ruthie Hebert, watching this one and getting ready.
We'll have that game for you on Saturday from Matt Knight Arena. Double team there. And the whistle's going to go against Taylor Jones.
Talk about opening your season. How about Sharman Smith, first-year head coach after Lindsey Gottlieb left to be an assistant with the Cleveland Cavaliers. She will start at Harvard on Friday and then play UConn on Sunday.
Oh, baby. Calling all fans of women's hoops, download the Pac-12 Now app and watch the most elite teams in Pac-12 hoops take on the U.S. women's national team. Saturday, #1 Oregon. Available on Pac-12 Now app as a showcase of this impressive talent. You can catch this all season long on Pac-12 networks. So Wilson picks up her second.
Such a different game than we saw Friday night at Stanford. That was a high-scoring affair. The final 95-80. Both teams shot pretty well from 3.
That's
Pivec,
a well-designed play
two.
on the inbounds as Pivec was able to slip her defender off the pick, and here she comes with the pick. Trailer. Well played by Jones, hustling down, and Pivec was able to find the freshman who was running the floor well.
Good decision by Pivec, you said it. Just dive it, dive it. And a good foul by Schuyler. Don't give up anything easy.
So here's Taylor Jones again, out of Texas, the freshman, 5-star kid, top 30 player overall, and ranked as high as the #5 post as far as freshmen coming into the college game, having a little trouble at the free throw line.
She's got time to work on that.
Well, they're going to look, though, at tape of this game, and they're going to be very pleased. The quick hands there of the play of Taylor Jones. So after missing the free throws, Mary, she doesn't mope. There was no chin to chest. She came down on the defensive end and made the play. Oops. Slocum gives it up. Clarendon looking for the open cutter. Instead will go outside. Gray shuffles. Nifty pass. Collier. Look at Leisha.
And
Those
that's
are the
Leisha.
little things,
That's
Mary.
right. That's what she does.
She's not going to light you up for 30 points. She's going to do the little things that the coaches and teammates notice. All the way to the rim. You betcha is Wilson.
The ability to go left or right with efficiency inside, make that shot. Asia Wilson, at times, unstoppable.
14 points now for Wilson. South Carolina 2018 National Player of the Year. And of course, her WNBA career is going to be, already is, so good. So here comes Chelsea Gray for the first time as Clarendon will sit down.
Alicia Gray.
Excuse me, Alicia Gray, pardon me. You know, and I love the fact that Alicia Gray helped South Carolina to that national title in 2017 and promised her mom she'd go back and get her degree and did exactly that in journalism. Says she likes being in front of that camera, Mary.
She took the spot of Elena Deladon, who is out with the back injury. So a lot of younger players getting an opportunity to show what they can do. There's a lot of eyes watching, evaluating. Great defense by Skylar, and Sylvia fouls.
Diggins Smith with the quick hands. Look at the no look. Crowd wanted to travel, they're going to get it. That was good defense. Stepping up in time is Thrope to force the stutter step.
And this is the point guard. She has fun. Thrope, solid positioning.
How about that?
This crowd getting a little antsy. They want some action.
It's been a low-scoring second half for the Oregon State Beavers. Mayor, what do you make of the attendance, though? 6,100.
On a Monday night in November. These fans love their Oregon State women's basketball. Saw the men's team out here practicing. They will start their season tomorrow night here at Gill. Rich Burke and Big Dan Bowanamly.
Rook's going to have these guys shooting some tosses, and a lot of them. They've missed a bunch of free throws, have the Beavers. As Alicia Gray, I should mention, did pick up that foul. Thrope gets that one home. So obviously, no Taya Corsdale tonight for Oregon State, nursing that hamstring. And still, Kat Tudor is not quite yet cleared, but getting close after that ACL last January. Kennedy Brown with her first team second.
There's the injured players. Keno on the left, Corsdale in the middle, Kat Tudor. Terrific shooter, one of the best in the country. Anxious to get back on the floor. Corsdale coming off a terrific season.
And nothing is going to be, you just don't leave anything to chance. Even a game like this. 7 on the shot clock for Bird, who re-enters the game. Good hands by Goodman. And Sue with the smart foul on the floor.
Well, you could just keep a camera on Sue Bird, talking to her teammates, explaining what needs to happen in a given situation. It's like Tom Brady out there. You go here, do this. This is what we're running. This is what's happening.
Watching her, if you're a student of the game and you watch a player like Bird or Taurasi, and regardless of what level you're playing or what kind of fan you are, you just learn a ton if you're paying attention. 6:40 left to go in the fourth. The national team with the comfortable lead. Slocum with the one on board, and she wants to go to the races. Leaving it, Goodman. Diggins Smith. We've seen the quick hands of the Notre Dame grad many, many times tonight. Goodman keeping the dribble alive. NBA 3. Scrum for that ball. Good hustle by Oregon State. Fresh clock. Goodman. Blocked by
Diggins
Skylar.
Smith.
She was beat by just a smidgen, but didn't quit on that play. Great hands, and she was able to regain position. Fouls and one, baby. Bird with the assist.
A great post player. Looks down, knows exactly where they are in the paint. What needs to happen to get the shot to go? Keep your head up. That is just a terrific pass and finish.
And again, we'll remind you what Dan Hughes told you at halftime, Mary, is we're getting out rebounded and we're not scoring in the paint. Well, they flipped the script on that one, didn't they?
Absolutely. Sylvia Fowles, 4 Final Fours at LSU, 3 Olympic gold medals, 12 seasons in the WNBA, the champion twice, MVP once.
And her future job, she's going to be a mortician. And I'm not kidding you. She is pursuing her degree in mortuary science. And she's very close to that degree. That's an interesting career after basketball.
And it takes a lot of time and effort, and she's been putting it in.
Yeah.
Sue Bird. Some calls have gone against the USA that they're not happy about, but play on.
And the bench is enjoying a very dominant second half. And Oregon State still working, still grinding. Mary, what can the Beavers take away from this game, regardless of score?
Well, I think just offensively, just decision-making. They put themselves, by putting the ball on the floor, they got themselves into a lot of trouble, instead of keeping more in the perimeter. And then once you decide, make sure you find some open space. But USA's played really solid defense, great help. But Oregon State started 2 freshman post players against the most dynamic post game in the world.
In the world. I mean, this is a U.S. women's national team that hasn't lost a game at a FIBA competition since 2006. That's some 57, 58 games. So, yes, at every position, so dynamic as Taurasi trips over Slocum.
Don't hurt Diana.
So Slocum's 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Team's 5th.
Taurasi goes and pats Slocum on the back. And shoot some free throws. A lot of what Dan Hughes and Cheryl Reeve is doing is all about game management, minutes management. Every single player, manage them so that they can become as healthy and as effective. The medical staff involved, the coaches, the players.
And what these players do with their minutes is so impressive. No one takes a play off. And you wouldn't expect it, but a defensive stop or a block or a cause travel has that bench over there wearing red gear up and roaring. And this crowd, I think, is going to go home and appreciate this national team even more. You mentioned the fact that this is just a genius move by the U.S. women's national team in terms of marketing and educating and getting the word out about what a special group this is. Goodman wants the inside edge. Washington looking for it down low.
Lacia just not letting her go where she wants to go. Nice pull back.
So Slocum is able to get a bit of distance and knocks down the jumper. She's got 15. Good block out inside. Goodman ends up with it. And here comes Pivec. All the way to the cup. Oh, heartbreaker for Mick. Look at Maddie hustling. Crowd loves that. And the possession arrow will favor Oregon State when we come back from break. Slocum feeling it. Little separation. Steps back. 4:14 left to go in the 4th and final period. USA national team leading Oregon State 70-51. A very tight game at halftime, with the U.S. women's national team only leading by 5. But Mary, that third quarter really gave them some separation.
It really did, and the postgame has just flexed its muscle and taken care of business. Nneka Agwumake's missed 3 shots, Sylvia Fowles has missed 1, and Asia Wilson has missed 2. All 3 in double figures. They've been dominant on the boards, dominant scoring the basketball, and dominant blocking shots.
8 blocks for the U.S. team. Slocum pulls back, blocked. Collier all over that. Safely into the hands of Slocum again, though, but only 7 on the shot clock. Goodman with the 3. Oh, baby, to beat the clock. She's had a terrific game there.
Yeah, her release has really improved from a year ago, and it was terrific a year ago. One of the best shooters in the country. You simply cannot leave her open, and her range just continues to move further and further back.
Goodman with 14 led this club in three-pointers last year. And you don't have to ask her twice to pull the trigger. Slocum wants to drive on Collier instead. Washington, and the foul is going to go against Asia Wilson, her 3rd.
Goodman. Her feet quicker. And this is what that international experience does for you. You got to get better or you're not going to make teams, and that's exactly what happened over the summer. She got the phone call, hey, we need you to play some 3-on-3. Can you come to China next week? She said, I was so lucky that I had a passport. And went to Italy twice this summer. She went to Russia. She went to Canada twice. I mean, she lived out of her suitcase playing basketball, 3-on-3, here for 10 days, and then back overseas to Italy with her own team. I mean, she lived it and breathed it, and you can see what all that work has done to her ball game.
That's great stuff, Mira. Just a confident player. Doesn't wait to get her shot off. Nice touch, of course, by Wilson with 16.
Put that on YouTube. I mean, if you want a post clinic inside and out, Asia Wilson will give it to you.
Wilson just 23 years old.
Oh, how good is she going to be?
Washington picks up her dribble. Collier's there for the swipe. Clarendon pulls up, open, and hits it. Those are really important buckets for the Clarendons of this club in terms of making this team.
That's exactly right. I mean, every minute, every shot, you've got to be executing, no matter how much you're up.
So again, over 6,100 here at Gill Coliseum on this Monday night tour stop at Gill, Washington. Air ball. Close game, the first and second quarters, and then the U.S. national team with that depth and the superior play down low on cue. Another bucket for Wilson, 18 now.
I mean, it's like you need a wet blanket to just throw over her to stop her. I mean, it's just she's got every move. You go this way, she goes that way.
Or a blindfold, or maybe both. Pick up that dribble and you're in trouble. Pivec now into trouble, hesitates, looks for help, scoops it up and gets her home. 8 now for Pivec.
Skylar doesn't need an invitation to shoot. Plenty of times, she's like, is anybody going to guard me? Knocks it down.
What she has gone through with that ACL a few years ago and missed the WNBA season with, proud mom, and she's got a chance of making this team. Pivec got hammered. Bounces right up. Wilson got her. That's her 4th. Pivec fearless inside.
And when you look at Mikayla Pivec, you are looking at the ultimate student athlete. Graduated with a 3.93 in biohealth sciences in 3 years. Now in graduate school, getting a master's in biophysics and biochemistry. And then she plays basketball on the side, raises money for the homeless, super involved in a lot of charities in town. She is a superwoman.
One of the most beloved players to come through Gill in recent memory, Mary. She captivated this town since her freshman year and impacted this program since her freshman year. Less than a minute to go. fun to have Noelle Mannon get a nod in this final minute, Mary. The walk-on, working hard and getting to play against this prolific U.S. women's national team.
It's just an honor to get on the floor.
You bet. Alicia Gray splashes home the free throw.
But similar to what we saw at Stanford, play hard, do some good things, but the experience, the talent, they just take it to another level. And the post game, we've said it again and again, absolutely dominating, just like Dan Hughes said it was going to be in the second half.
Takes your breath away what they do down low on both ends of the floor. Goodman finds Slocum, the catch and shoot. Boy, that was a good look by Destiny.
I remember a year ago, Oregon State, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the entire country. And when Tudor gets back, Corsdale, you're adding two more.
So last 20 seconds coming at you here at Gill. The appreciative crowd letting both clubs know that it was quite a memorable evening. Mannon with the three.
Oh, that would have made a lot of people here happy.
Final seconds, and that'll do it. The U.S.A. women's national team defeating Oregon State 81-58. The tour stop was a memorable one.
And it will continue. They will move on tomorrow to Texas A&M, the flight out of Portland to Houston, and then the bus ride. But on this night, Oregon State learned a lot of lessons. They're going to take this into their season. Lots of love there. U.S.A. just flexing their muscle. Good to have Chelsea Gray on board.
What a difference maker she showed us to be. We all knew it, but seeing it in person is a treat, to be sure. You mentioned A&M next on the fall tour. Oregon State, meanwhile, opening up its season against UC Irvine, part of the women's WNIT here in Corvallis. So Scott Ruick applauding the crowd. We'll be back in just a moment at Gill. 81-58, your final. Back at Gill Coliseum, time now for our State Farm Showcase. The assists for the U.S. national team, 27 helpers. And you got to be shooting well to cash it in the assist department, and that's exactly what happened. A dominant second half, but 27 of 35 made buckets via the assist. And now Mary Murphy standing by with one of the superstars of this game.
Chelsea Gray, welcome to USA Basketball. How's it feel to have this uniform on?
It feels amazing. I've been wanting to do this for a long period of time, so it feels amazing to be here with the greatest in the world.
The journey for you has been a long one. Injuries, illness, you keep thinking you're going to be able to do it, and finally an unorthodox path to getting here, and here you are in Corvallis wearing USA.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's been a long time. You know, I wanted to wear this since college, high school, you know, all those different events that they're able to do and get medals, and I just want one of those. And to be a part of a legacy and a part of great athletes is amazing.
You've played with some of these folks in all-star settings, but to play in a competitive setting where it means something and people are watching and you got to impress, how was that different and what was it like out there?
You know, all-star is a lot of fun and games and, you know, just giving the fans a little bit of a show. But here at USA, we're competing for something bigger than us. And I think it's a huge testament of how many gold medals USA has won thus far, and I'm just trying to get one right now.
What's it like to be on the floor with Sue Bird and Big Sil and Diana, folks that have been to the Olympics so many times with all that wisdom?
It's amazing. You know, when I was in college, I would watch film on Sue, just trying to learn and different ways to make the pocket pass, different things, but just being around her and see the leader and how she thinks the game is huge, and just being around Diana, you know, her tenacity, relentless, you know, it's a winning mentality down the line, so I'm just trying to be a part of it.
The last question, I know Candace Parker is a good friend of yours and she's been on this team for a long time. What was her advice advice as you came on up here?
You know, compete, just be you. And I'm so proud of her being able to be on U.S.A. and bring home gold medals. And I was able to see her play and things like that. So, you know, she supported me. I love her to death. So it's good.
Tell your mom and dad I said hey, and I know they're proud too. Back home. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, so that's going to do it from Gill Coliseum. What a treat it has been to be a part of this one. The U.S. national team beating Oregon State 81-58. The college tour continues for that bunch. They'll be heading to Texas A&M for a game against the Aggies Thursday before they land in Eugene. They'll face the Ducks on Saturday, November 9th. Mary and I will be there for that. For Mary and our entire broadcast crew, I'm Ann saying so long from Corvallis. Thanks so much for starting your week off with us. Hoop season is here, baby. See ya in Eugene. Fun one tonight. Good night, everybody.